guys, it's me, Fee, and welcome back to another episode of Millennial Pocket Watching. Welcome to paycheck number 2 of May. For this paycheck, I received $1,820. And that's what I'm going to be cash stuffing. So I'm kind of excited about this month. It's like the weirdest thing because I am, well, basically my pay is enormously reduced. So I feel like for a lot of people that watch me and don't have the income that I have, and this will probably be a little bit more realistic. So basically my income is essentially being cut in thirds, into a third of kind of what I usually get paid. I knew this was coming, so I kind of planned ahead for this. I made sure that all of my bills usually kind of pan out to be this much. I know a lot of people don't have that luxury of having, all of their money or the bills being less than what they make, or not having much cushion, or as much cushion as I typically have. Don't get me wrong. My bills are definitely billsing. It's going to be a little tighter than it usually is. And it also forces me to kind of cut out a lot of things. But also, I had to cut out a lot of things just because I really just don't need them right now. So it's going to be fun trying to kind of live on, I say fun, but this is like a lot of people's real lives. But either way, for me, it's kind of fun to live on a smaller budget. Because it just shows me that I really don't need a lot of things that I'm gotten accustomed to. This is reverse lifestyle inflation, if you will. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to technically consider this my first paycheck. If you watched my last video, you know that I typically get the first paycheck of the month out of the way and pay all my bills. But that particular paycheck is being reserved because I have to pay it back. That's all I'm going to say about that. Watch my last video if you want a more in-depth explanation. But if you're new here, just so you understand, I don't have access to a bank right now, so I can't actually go get actual cash. So for now, this is just a simulation. And a lot of this movement is digital because I won't be paying people with fake money. I think that's kind of illegal. So for now, everything's mostly electronic. But I am going to still cash stuff because this money, while electronically, is still moving in and out of places and it is getting spent. So that part. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to start with the bill binder because this is my bill. This is my bill paycheck. So Jim is going to get $25. And so we'll jump into that. 20 and 5. And that's for the month. So I don't technically need my gym membership currently, but consider it a convenience fee. This is one of those unnecessary purchases that I still decided to keep in, just so I don't have to think about starting my gym membership again once I'm out of here. So that part. I don't have any utility bills at the moment. Weird flex, but okay. I do still pay rent for my fifth wheel. It is in a space where I do need to pay rent for. So that's going to be $120. So that is 120. So 120. That's going to go in here. And then storage, my storage unit back home is going to get $91. So that's going to be 50, 70, 90, and 1. And that is my storage unit bill for the month. Great. And then insurance is going to get $388. That doesn't change regardless of where I am. This is for, and so people understand, this is all of my insurances combined into one if you're new here. Car insurance, life insurance, pet insurance. All them insurances are in this particular stuffing or fund, if you will, and they all get paid out of this. So that's why it's a little higher than your typical insurance, unless you have a very expensive car and that's what your car note insurance is. That's crazy. Do better, but whatever. So these are all my insurances combined into one. So that is going to be $388. So we'll go ahead and do that. So that's 100, 200, 300, 50, 370, 380, 385, 386, 387, and 388. Make sure I didn't grab an extra one. Fantastic. So that is paid up for the month now. Cell phone, I do split a cell phone plan with some of my other family members, and this is my portion, so that's going to be $69. So that's 50, 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69. Because I'm here, I'm not seeing my personal trainer, sad face, but he does follow me on Instagram, so he be knowing. And I do occasionally send him memes, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, not paying him for the month. Yay. Taxes I'm not really concerned about right now, but I will start contributing to taxes later once I get back to like my regular income, because I do have to pay taxes. I do owe taxes every year from now forth. Because of my rental property, I do owe taxes for that, so I do like to put away tax money for that. But that's not now. Travel trailer debt. So this is what I use to pay all, or if not a portion, of my travel trailer payment for the month. I did take out a loan for my fifth wheel, so that this time will be $340, and that's not the full note, but that is a part of my note. And that's kind of a part of the adjustment that I'm making on my budget, is this check won't cover all of my bills like my other checks did. I do have to spread out a little bit more of my bills. So that's the only kind of, well, not that's the only budget adjustment I made, but that's one of my budget adjustments I made. I've kind of split my payments, or my contributions to my payments, into multiple checks. So if you can't cover all of your bills in one check, I do highly recommend that you pay off what you can or most of your bills in the first check, and then use that second check to cover any miscellaneous expenses or savings and funds. That way you know your house, your food, and all of your bills are pretty much covered for the month, and everything else you get is just essentially play money or savings money. But let's just jump right into that. So that's going to be $340. So it's going to be 100, 200, 300, 320, and 340. And like I said, this isn't the full note, but this is a sizable chunk on that note. And I'm just going to tuck that away. And then I have truck debt. So I also took out a loan on the truck. It's a smaller amount, so I do want to pay that off first. So I will be putting a little bit more towards it later. But right now I'm just going to pay off the note for the month. That's going to be $552. So we're going to add that up. It'll be 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500, 550, 551, and 552. So that is the note for the truck. And then I will be adding to that later to see where my extra money kind of lies, and I'll just put that towards the truck to pay it off a little bit quicker. In a way, I'm kind of using the snowball method, getting one of your smaller debts and then paying it off, and then using that money that you don't have to pay for your smaller debt and roll it into the big one. So if you're curious as to my technique for this, why not pay up both of them off a little bit extra, that's what I'm doing. That's what works for me in the past. When I was paying off my student loans, I would pay off the smallest loan first and then work my way up. And that's how I managed to pay off about $67,000 of student loan debt. So if I don't have a video for that, that's just something I did before I started filming on YouTube. But that was my method, and you know the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You feel me? So yay! All right, so I'm gonna jump into the purple bundle. And so I chose to put money into my car fund, because I have been doing quite a bit of using these slush funds, and I actually did want to put that money towards that. So I'm gonna ahead and knock that out. So, and it's backwards, of course it is. Alright, so I'm just gonna throw some money in there. And that's gonna be $100. And yeah, so we're just gonna knock that out. 100. Shabam. And then I'm gonna grab this purpley binder. So usually I put my pets money into this binder, but I'm considering it a bill because right now they're being watched by other people, and I do give them child support in a way. Let's call it pet support, but I like to call it child support even though they're not my biological children. They are my babies. So I'm gonna put that in the pets fund for now instead of making a different category. And that is located in the purple or the pink specular binder. So yeah, so that's gonna be $135. Different amounts for each because one person does have to pay pet rent, which I think is the biggest rent as a landlord and as a renter. Or excuse me, a previous renter. I think that's the biggest ripoff ever. Pet rent, it's complete garbage. Now, from a renter's perspective, it's complete garbage because I feel like kids do way more damage than dogs and cats and what have you. But from a landlord's perspective, I think it's also garbage, but I understand because I do have tenants with animals, and the wear and tear on your carpet, you don't really get that back in any sense of the word when you need to replace it. And it is a little bit of a pricey expense. So with that pet rent, it tries to offset the cost of replacing the carpet because we're just going to assume your animals have poor home training and they're going to destroy our carpet, rip it up, chew it, pee on it, what have you. But honestly, kids are just as rough on the carpets, and the minimal amount that they pay for pet rent doesn't really greatly affect the cost or offset the cost of replacing a carpet unless you don't replace your carpet for a while. But theory behind it is the carpet will wear out quicker with animals. I find that is probably not the case, or it's not worth the amount of money that you're paying. Basically, pet rent's not going to cover the cost of replacing your carpet really super significantly. But, and then I find in my case, my property manager keeps the pet deposit and they also keep most of the pet rent. I don't charge my tenants pet rent, but they do keep my pet deposit, so I'm not even seeing that, even though it's getting charged to my tenants. So that's, honestly, that's bullshit. Excuse my French. Or that's BS. I'll try to edit that out. Whatever. But it's BS. And my property manager keeps all of that. So that's kind of think what's one of like those like, I think that's one of the way property management make money is to charge you pet rent. But I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that for the pet deposit. So that part. Yay. Anywho, I'm going to get off my tangent there, and I'm just going to go ahead and stop this. So it's going to be $135 for child support, if you will. So it's going to be 100, 120, 130, and 135. And that's going to go in my pet section. And then I have some money in here because I do need to fulfill their pets expenses anyway, because I think I am going to end up buying some more dog food for the munchkins, so I need that. So I have 150, 170, 180, 185, 186 in here for the putties, and 135 of that is going straight back to their caretakers for child support. Yay! Anyway, as you can see, that is all of the money for this cash stuffing, all $1,820 of it. It for this particular cash stuffing. Thank you guys for watching as always. If you like this content or you don't like this content or you're on the fence, you can still like, subscribe, and drop a comment in the comment section and tell me what you do and do not like about this. Anywho, Inty way, inty time, inty place. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it.